Welcome back to Origami Snowman. My name is Matt. I've got company, as you'll probably see. They're roaming around. It's Gus and Bill. Everybody loves Gus and Bill. Anyway, today I want to talk about children's books throughout history and how they are full of horrible, awful things. Like, just the meanest people, the most horrifying events, stuff that, if it was in a movie, there's no way it would get a PG rating. And therefore it wouldn't be a children's movie. So we're going to start with my old classic, The Chronicles of Narnia. Wow. It's a nice, peaceful sort of fantasy story, right? It really is. But every single book, there's 7 of them, every single book, horrible things happen. I'm going to highlight them, one from each book. And there will be spoilers. I'm sorry, there just will be. The Magician's Nephew, that's the first one, written chronologically, or not chronologically, not the first one written, but chronologically it's the first one. You know what I'm saying. So The Magician's Nephew, the magician in question, he is trying to test out a magical theory, and he sends an innocent girl to, basically to another world, and he has no idea what is on the other side. And when his nephew calls him out for being a coward, he's basically like, are you kidding? You want me to go into the unknown? I, the master magician? What a loss I would be to the world. This other useless child, this is probably the greatest moment of her life. No, of course not. Of course I'm not going to be the one to do it. He's a horrible, horrible person. And sending this girl into the unknown, literally, he could be sending her into the vacuum of space to die a horrible, painful death, and he just doesn't care. That's the first book, Magician's Nephew. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The White Witch, she's horrible. She sacrifices Aslan, like the god of the world, on a stone table surrounded by evil creatures. And it's very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. The Horse and His Boy. This boy is basically a slave. He's owned, I guess, or rather being raised by a horrible fisherman who beats him and is cruel. And so the boy decides, I'd rather run away and face the unknown than be tormented any longer by this monster. And so he leaves, and he takes with him, he steals a horse from a visiting, I don't know, a lord or a general or somebody. And the entire book, he is running for his life. And the people he's running from, there's no, will they kill him if they catch him? No, they will kill him. They will peel him like a banana. It's horrifying. The entire implication throughout the whole thing is that this boy is running for his life. Prince Caspian, the main character, the title character, Prince Caspian, is running for his life as well. His uncle, Prince Caspian, he is the heir to the throne. His uncle is the steward. He's sort of taking care of business until Prince Caspian comes of age. But then one night, his uncle's wife has a baby, and the baby is a boy. As long as Prince Caspian is alive, that boy will never have a chance to sit on the throne. So the uncle decides he's going to have him murdered. Well, the prince's, his tutor, his teacher, smuggles him out of the castle in the middle of the night. And it's horrifying and terrifying, and the boy has no knowledge of where he's going or what he's doing. And it's very, very scary and very upsetting. Voyage of the Dawn Treader, one of my favorites. We'll just start with Deathwater. They find a place, beautiful pool of water, and in the bottom, they look down, and in the bottom of this pool, there seems to be a statue made of solid gold, and it is the perfect representation of a man. And they think, oh my goodness, what a treasure. Let's jump in and get it. Well, somebody, they noticed that as they were standing on the edge of the pool, their toes dipped in, the toes of their boots dipped in to the water, and when they stepped back, the toes were gold. They had turned to gold. The gold of the boot, the toes of the boots had turned to gold. And so somebody else dipped their spearhead in the water, and it suddenly turned to gold. And people were getting ready to dive into the water, and they stop everyone. And they realize that the water turns anything it touches into gold. And so the statue at the bottom of the pool was someone. That was a person. And the implications, that's horrifying. But the more you think about it, Well, the character whose boots turned to gold, just his boots, just the part that the water touched turned to gold, not his toes inside the boots. So that suggests that the person who jumped in, their skin and their hair and their clothes turned to gold, but their innards, their insides did not. So they stayed alive for a while. That's horrifying. That kept me up at night when I was a kid. But what a fun book. The Silver Chair. They are the two main characters. They find this castle with giants, and the giants are like, "Oh, you sweet little things, come in and eat, and we'll take care of you. You're precious, you're adorable, and blah 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 blah." And they treat them like adorable little babies, and they take care of them and they feed them. Well, then they find out that they're actually just fattening them up to eat them. That's upsetting. And then the last battle, fantastic book, wonderful allegory. However, everyone dies. Anyway, yeah, they went full Marvel on that one, and yeah, sure, it's fine. Okay, so those 7 books. A Wrinkle in Time. If you've never read A Wrinkle in Time, you really should. It's fantastic. But there's a scene where it, the big darkness, the villain of the story, takes control of little Charles Wallace, who is this child genius, and he's so misunderstood by everyone, and no one can quite match his level. And this ominous presence, kind of finds not a kindred spirit, but he sort of goes Emperor Palpatine, and he sees his little Anakin Skywalker, and he's like, I want that one. That one's mine. And he kind of takes him over. And you see him just sort of lose himself and get taken over by this thing. And it is very sad. He's 4 years old. He's a very, very small child. And Meg has to kind of go in and rescue him. And it's hard. It's hard as a kid to see that happen to an even younger child. Because when you're a child, you feel very helpless. But when you see an even more helpless child, you think, like, it's horrifying. It's terrifying. Fantastic book, though. We're going to get this whole stack out of the way. A series of unfortunate events. Yep, the whole thing. If you've ever read it, you know, nothing good happens. Nothing good. These poor kids, the Baudelaire orphans, they're orphans, and it gets worse from there. So it's just one horrible experience after another. They keep losing caretakers. Their guardians are either murdered or horribly negligent. Every adult who is worth anything is killed. And the rest are all cowards or greedy or selfish. And these children are left to fend for themselves through 13 novels. Every single adult that is literally is helpful or empathetic or compassionate is either killed or put at a distance. And at one point, the youngest, Sunny, she is suffering from poisoning. Some kind of mushroom, I think, is basically growing a fungus in her lungs, and she's dying. She is suffocating from these growths, and it's so upsetting. It's a kid's book. Stop murdering the children. Oh, my. Speaking of murdering children, The Jungle Book, poor Mowgli. He's raised by wild animals. Many of them want to eat him. Classic. Captain's Courageous. This rich kid, he falls off a boat or something. Basically, he gets pulled out of the water, rescued by a bunch of fishermen, and he's like, oh, yes, please, take me back to my father. Take me to shore. I have no business being on a fishing boat. Think Draco Malfoy. I have no business being on a fishing boat. Take me back so that I can live my pampered life. And these fishermen are like, here's the thing. If we go back to shore, we lose out on our livelihood. We miss all the fish. So you're going to come with us and you're going to fish. Or, nobody knows we found you. We could just slit your throat and throw you back in the water and then go about our business. Children's book. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think I'm going to save the rest of these. I'm going to save the rest of these for another video, a second video, because there are a lot. Why do bad things happen in children's books? I don't know. I'm glad they do. I'm really glad they do, because it always makes everything so much more interesting. Anyway, appreciate you guys so much. I love you all to pieces. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Goodbye.